Thinking of diced onion 10, ground beef, ricotta, rigatoni, marinara, preheat the oven to 350, cool down, and serve.
That's not even a play. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you. Mom's was in town. Was hanging out with her for a little bit. Bills played on a Thursday night, so wasn't able to do the Thursday night game last week, but I am thrilled to be with you once again. We did our Sunday pregame show, so I was able to get you there, but I haven't really talked to you much otherwise. So I missed y'all. I hope you're doing great. Hope you had a fantastic week. Hope it was better than mine. Always want it to be better than mine. Titans Steelers, a game that looked like it was going to be a real dog game. Maybe not. Excited to see what Will Levis has in store for us, and Kenny Pickett playing. So both those things are good. Right now I am on Titans +3. Feels like a game that's going to be stupid and end on some sort of field goal. But I've been saying that a lot recently. I will take the chance that Pittsburgh Steelers don't have tape and don't have time to come up with a game plan to stop Will Levis after last week. On the short week, I feel like it's going to be a big ask when you don't have a lot of tape on a guy to come up with an effective game plan. And what do teams do when they can't make a solid game plan? They revert back to what they do well, and that means the Titans going to run the ball a lot. So we'll see, man. We'll see what they come up with. I like them +3, and of course I'm a serial middler, so of course I'll be looking to middle that with Steelers plus points here at some point. If you don't have anywhere to watch, remember this game can be watched for free on Twitch at Amazon Prime Video. And you can stream it for free there. Gabs, good to see you back, man. Hope you've been good. Barely beating Baker at home was ugly, Rob. Okay, but now you got to watch a full Bills game, right? Which I feel like most people haven't done. They've just seen scores and highlights and so on and so forth. You see what I'm talking about. That team is dominant when the team feels like being dominant and when the coach gets out of their way. They drove the ball over the 50-yard line 4 times and freaking punted the ball. 4 times. So if that team gets a little bit more of an edge to them, a little bit more of a killer mentality, which as the games increase in importance, I think they will. I still believe in them. They don't ask the scores of the games when they ask what your record is, so. Let's see. Colts, what did the Colts do last week? I was all over the place this weekend. I don't have it memorized like I normally do. Were they on a bye? We lose by a bunch. Maybe that's why. Who did you play? Saints. Gross. You still going to tell me how the Saints are good, Gabs? Is that something that we're still doing? Steelers putting together a nice first drive here. I don't think it'll last, but who knows? Okay. I'm at 12:14 of the first. Real quick passes for Pickett coming out here, which probably a good idea if you don't trust your quarterback. Get him into a rhythm a little bit. Let's go, Niners faithful. And what up, Rob? What's up, Milkman? Welcome back. Rough little go of it for you. I wonder if you talk as much shit the past couple weeks, because I haven't, unfortunately, been able to be on. You were talking a lot of smack. I'm sure you feel good about your trade deadline acquisitions. They're losing to the Panthers, by the way. Who's losing to the Panthers? Colts? Saints? Hey, man, when Chase Young is on the field, he's great when he's on the field. I was screaming for Bosa the other night, man. What was that, Monday Night Football last week? 2 weeks ago? Last week. No, 2 weeks ago. Just felt like I couldn't see him, man. I don't know where he's been. Colts are losing to the Panthers. Are you starting to hope that you lose, Gabs? Is that where we're at right now? That trade made no sense. Young is leaving at free agency, and the Niners are getting a mid-round pick back, the price they paid. Makes sense for the Niners. Plus, they've got eyes on what they're going to do this year, so. Unless your belief is that you weren't going to be able to re-sign him anyway, then you take whatever you can get, you know? If that was the best offer that came along, then you take it. The Bears one was more confusing. Bears getting Sweat was more confusing. Oh my God, how did you not sack him there? This drive is maddening. I'm not going to lie to you. The Bills actually brought in two players that have had a history with Bills that are still on the team. But I don't think either of them are a big deal. I think both those players want to win, and they will be more than happy to squash the beef if they think it means that they are going to win some games here. Steelers continue to put together a drive. Unbelievable. Overcome a couple penalties and negative play. Pickett, maybe Pickett's figuring something out. Who knows? I thought he was going to struggle today with those ribs. Must have gotten shot up. On the 10-yard line. Wow. Wide open hole for Najee Harris. Matt Canada's offense has literally never looked that good. Also got to give the state of Colorado that they can be a good football game after what Broncos did. Props. I mean, yeah, man. Broncos finally played up to expectations. And I think we've said on here several times the Chiefs look human, you know what I mean, for the first time maybe ever. So finally getting the Broncos to play up to their level. Air Force 8-0 college. Buffs can't block anybody. That's a problem. But for the most part, Colorado football doing well. Either of you got bets on tonight? Steelers right down the field with a touchdown. Titans now plus 7.5. Plus 230. On the money line, excuse me. All right, let's start going through this week's games. Dolphins Chiefs to kick it off in Germany. Can I just tell you that I love that this game is in Germany? And I hope it wrecks both these teams. I can't even tell you. The weird thing for me is I think I'm rooting for the Chiefs. It's been a while since I've rooted for the Chiefs. But I think I want to put another loss on the Dolphins. So, Gabs, I'm getting Titans in the points right now, taking the 7.5. You got to pay for it a little bit, but not bad. Yeah, man, Chiefs and Dolphins in Germany. I honestly think it fucked up the Bills a little bit, having to go play a game overseas. I kind of hope it fucks up these teams too, to be honest with you. The Bills still play both these teams. I think the Bengals play just the Chiefs. Chiefs still have to. Oh no, yeah, Chiefs have to play the Eagles. Maybe. So. Oh God, I can't stop yawning. All the division winners or all the division leaders in the AFC right now are 6-2, which is interesting. Yeah, I thought the Chiefs played the Eagles. All the division leaders in the AFC right now are 6-2. That includes the Ravens and Jaguars, as well as the Dolphins and the Chiefs. Yeah, Bills do have a crazy schedule coming up, but all those teams have to play the Bills too. That goes two ways. So it'll be interesting. The Dolphins are also through the easier part of their schedule, so it's going to get tougher for them too. Wow. Yeah, Milkman, you listen, I got news for you. You got to worry about the division before you worry about the NFC, cuz those Seahawks are right there, baby boy. Right there. So that Dolphins Chiefs game, a game that might be worth waking up at 7:30 to actually turn on. I don't know, we'll see. I promise nothing. Um, but yeah, oh God, who am I leaning towards here? I mean, it's basically a pick 'em. Dolphins getting a point and a half. Yeah, 7:30 start here. You guys are closer to Germany, so it should be a little bit more reasonable for you, Gabs. In terms of time zones, but 10:30 start. Yeah, 7:30 start is tough. I live in the Mountain Time Zone, and NFL starts for us normally at 11 o'clock, so I'm good with that. I'd be fine with 10:30, but 7:30 start here. The Chiefs defense has been playing really, really well. I don't know. The Dolphins offense is just crazy good. So remains to be seen if that's something or not. Man, that's a tough call. I'm watching that J.J. Watt roughing the passer call. I said J.J. T.J. Watt roughing the passer call. It's tough. It's a tough call right there. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Derrick Henry tonight. I got to be honest with you. So, yeah, the good part of both of those teams is going against each other, and the bad part of both of those teams is going against each other. Just see if Patrick Mahomes can do Patrick Mahomes things. You know what I mean? No doubt he was not feeling great the other day, so it's no excuse, but he's got to get it together. God damn. I could not stop yawning. Holy shit. I would be brushing my teeth with beer if the game starts at 7:30. How? Oh, show me that pass interference call. A lot of penalties on the Steelers here. Yeah, that's a good call. Patrick Peterson's like, what the hell, man? You guys believing in Will Levis? I don't know if I'm a believer yet. Oh, boy. So Levis drops back to pass, both the edges coming off. And I don't know if he doesn't feel it or feels it at the last second, but just slides up the pocket just barely. I would have liked to see a little bit more pocket awareness, try to get that ball out, but Steelers defense stacking up the run pretty good so far. Milkman, I could have told you that Raiders team was a dumpster fire years ago. When did they hire McDaniels? That's when I would have told you they were a dumpster fire. It's bad. Bad situation. And I think they had to fire him, but man, let me tell you something. Mark Davis does not have any money, and he's paying two coaches not to coach his team right now. Fourth and 1 here? I might go. Because they didn't know any better. Listen, man, the Broncos hiring McDaniels is different than there wasn't a case study to show you what a dumbass he was back then. He was just the best offensive mind on the planet, reportedly. But man, the way he handled things, just not okay. I mean, I work with a lot of ex-Broncos, and I've heard some stories, man, about Josh and how he handled things and his team and so on and so forth. So it was absolutely a dumpster fire, but a move I thought they had to make. What a run by Tajay Spears. Interesting. Gross. Who in their right mind would hire Matt Canada as head coach right now? Weird screenplay. Super slow developing. Why would you call that? Yeah, I mean, it would have worked if you got the ball to him quicker, but oh, 7-3 incoming. Gross. So I think you got to take the points here if you don't get this. 3rd and 8. Oh, Ole. What is 71 doing? It was a weird offside. Wow. Two two penalties on Joey Porter, including one that turns into an automatic first down. I mean, that is brutal. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a violent grab of the face mask, but at least worthwhile for a penalty there. Wow, Hopkins picked up 5 yards on that. 6. Damn, bro. You think Devontae Adams is going to request a trade? I think Devontae Adams already did, and I think that's part of the reason they fired McDaniels. I think he went up there and said, either trade me or get rid of McDaniels, and they said, we'll get rid of McDaniels. So, quick quarter. Already down to 3 minutes left. Third and 5. A lot of penalties kept this drive alive. Didn't look like any of them were bad calls, though. Big third down. TJ Watt kept playing with his helmet off, though. You can't do that. Yeah, but you can't keep playing with your helmet off. Huh, that's interesting. I swear you can't play with your helmet off. God, Nick Folk looks so old, and he's probably like 35. Welcome to the NFL. It's good. All right, 7-3. We are going to take this commercial break with him and be right back. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Matt Canada. I don't need to see a bunch of shots of Matt Canada today. I'm good. I'm good. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Aren't you supposed to be studying for some test, even though you're an adult? And adults don't do homework or study. I think it's important for the Titans to get a stop here. Which, again, we're talking about a Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada-led offense, so... we missed a little bit. Let's see if we can get it figured out here. Remember, if you don't have somewhere to watch this game, you can always watch it for free on Twitch at Prime Video. Third and 8. Got to get off the field here if you're the Titans. And this was a game that, like, I don't know, I thought was going to be very bad a couple weeks ago. But you're staring at the Steelers at 4-3, fighting for a wild card spot, and the Titans at 3-4. I mean, they could both end up 4-4 at the end of this. And I really did think this is what the AFC was going to do to itself, is just kind of cannibalize itself. But I think it was the USA Today prediction that had like a bunch of teams at like 8, 9, 9-8. God, that throw from Pickett was terrible. All right, well, nice stop for the Titans. What is Pickett seeing? Let's see if we can figure it out here. And he's wide open. He just airmails his guy. I mean, absolutely no reason for that. There's zero pressure on him. Pickens, as far as the NFL is concerned, was wide open. That was brutal. That was terrible. Looked like a Tebow throw. You had to hope Pickett was going to make a jump this year. But Kenny Pickett, I don't know. I've asked myself a couple times if he's got Matt Canada problems or Kenny Pickett problems, and that throw says Kenny Pickett problems. All right, next game up, Vikings and... Oh, I just lost it. Vikings and Falcons. Who's going to play quarterback? Who wants to play quarterback in this game? Just anybody. Put Mitchy Biscuits back out there. Mitch has not been great. Not great. Benny, what up, baby? You don't want to hear me talk shit about your Steelers? Is that what's happening right now? Is that why you're putting the karma tag in there? I can't see the little animated emoji he used if you're only looking at it on the screen. It's a little karma emoji. Man, who is going to play quarterback? For the Vikings, they traded for Josh Jacobs. They have Max Hall, of course. Kirk Cousins with a torn ACL out for the season. Ben, that's why they hate me, because that is what I do. I think it's too early to start Dobbs, but who knows? I mean, he's one of those veteran quarterbacks. Do you just let him start and figure it out as you go kind of thing, or do you Achilles. Did I say ACL? My bad. No, you're right. Achilles. For Kirk Cousins. So, yeah, I feel like it's probably too soon to start Josh Dobbs, which means you'll get a Max Hall game here versus, I assume, Taylor Heineke. Ritter got benched last week, and Heineke came in. I would assume that Heineke's a more solid starter than Ritter, but, I mean, who knows? And I think that's going to be the story of that game. Vikings right now getting 4 points. I probably stay away from it altogether. If I didn't have the rule that I bet every NFL game, I probably wouldn't bet that one at all. All right, let's see if Will Levis can put something together. By the way, grass looks pristine in that stadium. It's 3 different types of sods because the middle of that dies quicker than anything else. So it looks like they resodded the middle of that field. But for everybody who says you can't have natural grass in certain cities, Pittsburgh, it's literally on the mouth of 3 rivers. Shitty weather there, cold weather there, and they have a college football team playing there too. I mean, there's no excuse. Ain't no reason you can't put grass in all these stadiums. And yes, it's going to cost these teams more money. I don't care. If the fellas want grass, if there's statistical evidence to prove that it's safer, put the grass in, because the grass looks pretty good in Pittsburgh, and that's normally one of the shittiest fields on the planet. Milkman, I hope the Vikings lose. Isn't your revenge tour against them kind of done, Milkman? I mean, Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles, is out for the season. I feel like that completes your revenge tour. You don't have to be angry about it anymore. First and 19. You don't see that every day. No good. Let him suffer. That's a pretty shitty attitude to have because your team sucked. Milkman. Just saying. But, I know you're a vengeful troll, so if that makes you feel better. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad call. There's just... Can we put the flags away for a little bit, fellas? First and 23. Let's try that a third time. Nice throw. Show that from the back view. Oh, no. Is that Watt? No. I thought that was Watt. What a throw. Threw it right over his head. Oh. Oh. Ah. Let's see. Gabs, 49ers on the wild card, make Milkman go nuts. Yeah, you better watch out for those Seahawks, Milkman. Well, that's debatable. I mean, the Bills suck too. I don't know what your point is in saying that. Yeah, didn't that leg look sideways, David? It's exactly what I thought too. I just didn't want to say it. But yeah, up by the knee. It looked like when he landed on the ground, he was trying everything he could to straighten it out because it wasn't supposed to bend that way. Ugh. All I'm saying is the Bills got to watch for Aaron's comeback. Yeah, looking more and more likely that he will be back at some point. What I had said to you at the beginning part of the year, and it still stands, is can they win enough games before he comes back to stay in it? And they've done that. So give them credit. I thought at this point of the season they might have 1 or 2 wins. And if that was the case, that it would just be too big of a hill for him to climb when he got back, if he made it back for the regular season at all, which I found hard to believe. I still don't think he'll be back for the majority of the remainder of the I guess what I'm trying to say is like last quarter of the season is what I'm thinking he might be back for at best if you're Aaron Rodgers. But if they get into the playoffs, that's a scary wild card team for somebody to have to play. Gabs, AFC wild card will be a bloodbath. I don't know if the Jets can do anything. It is going to be a bloodbath, but the problem is that I think that's actually going to help them, Gabs, because I think some team's going to get in at 8-9 or 9-8 because it is, aside from the top teams, I think you have 6 teams that are going to separate themselves, and that 7th spot for the 7th wild card is going to be like a 500 team. I think you have Ravens, Bengals, Bills, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Jaguars separate themselves. And then I think that 7th wild card spot is going to be... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that leg is jelly. Yeah, David, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. He says, why the F open even near the this year, even near the top? All the division winners are 6-2 right now. All the division leaders are 6-2, which is crazy that we are not even halfway through the season and they all already have 2 losses. So, yeah, wide open this year. It's whoever gets hot, man. There's going to be a team that catches fire and gets hot and ends up winning the bye. And I said before the year I thought a team like Jacksonville could do that, and I think even more so now. Guys, it's supposed to be Vrabel versus Tomlin, these 2 great coaches. Can we stop having mental mistakes and flags? I mean, holy shit. Oh, that is a dangerous throw from Levis. You got to have a lot of confidence to be in someone's grasp going backwards and still try to throw that ball over the middle. Chargers have Patriots, Packers, Broncos twice, Raiders. They get some winnable games. I think they get into that mix. Yeah, I mean, the Chargers will no doubt be there. I don't think they elevate themselves, though. The Chargers always Charger. Always. And I make the argument all the time that what happened in past years isn't indicative of what will happen this year. But they've already done it. They've already lost games they shouldn't lose. So, I think they play the Jets this week. They do, yeah. And that's what's going to happen. That's what I mean by the AFC cannibalizing itself. Like, it is going to... Those teams are going to keep beating each other, and you're going to end up with 7, 8, 9 losses being that last wild card spot. All right, Cardinals play the Browns. Listen, if Kyler Murray plays and you can get the Cardinals plus more than a touchdown, that could be fun for you. God, what was his name plays? I can't even remember what the kid's name was. They're going to get freaking murdered by the Browns. And if you're the Browns, I don't know what the answer is on Deshaun Watson. And a question that got asked on the radio show, and I totally agree, is do you even care? My answer is no. The dude has been playing terribly. I might just let PJ Walker ride this thing out. He's not great, but shoot, you don't have to be great for that team. You got a great defense, good running game. Another 4-3 team, you know what I mean? So that game's in Cleveland. If they still had Joshua Dobbs, I might think to pick the Cardinals there, to be honest with you. So the Kyler thing is very interesting to me. Gannon has got that team to play, so Milkman, you got the Browns going to the Super Bowl, Rob. The Super Bowl for them, which is the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, 100%. TCU getting smoked. I got TCU Texas Tech on another screen. TCU's getting their butt kicked. Well, what did you want me to say about the Browns? I mean, come on. Yeah, I think if the Browns make it to the playoffs this year, they'll be very happy. I don't think they're thinking that they can make a run at anything this year. Nicholas, thanks for jumping back in. Am in Tennessee. Started Levis in 2 of my fantasy teams. Hope I'm not screwing the pooch. He's made a couple nice throws so far, man. But it has been mostly penalties that have aided their drives to this point. I don't know. I really liked Levis in college. I didn't know if he would have what it took to make it in the NFL. But last week was fun, man. So, oh, boy. Takes a sack right there. No, man, Dobbs is never going to find a forever home. Never, never, never. He is going to turn into the Josh Johnson of the league, and whoever has a quarterback injury is going to sign him, and he is going to be really good at – I mean, he's freaking ridiculously smart. I don't know if you know that. He's, I think, literally a rocket scientist, if I remember right. And so he just picks up offenses real quick. He's going to be everybody's, you know, oh, we need a guy, call Dobbs, you know. Hopkins trying to get a call rather than make a catch. Brutal. Gabs, the Broncos are 3-5, Rob. Maybe the season can be saved. Yeah, I mean, the season can absolutely be saved. Unfortunately for them, they put themselves in a little bit of a hole. If you win either a Raiders game that you lost 17-16 or a Commanders game that you had a 21-point lead and lost 35-33, I think it was. If you pull out either of those games, you're 4-4, and it feels way different right now. But you didn't. So you're 3-5, and your next game is a Monday nighter versus the Bills in Buffalo. So whatever you think about that. But a couple of the games on their schedule looking much more winnable now. They've got Vikings at home, with Kirk going out. There's another game on there that was looking more winnable now. So, yeah, they've got some winnable games at the end. And like I said, in the AFC, I think that last playoff spot is going to be 9-8, something like that. So, yeah, they can. Yeah, Texans is winnable. They've got Patriots on their schedule. They've got another game versus the Raiders. Like, but the Broncos have winnable games. So, Vikings, Browns, they've got 2 against the Chargers, but we won't count those. Patriots, and Raiders. So there's 4 right there. So that gets you to 7 wins, right? Can they find another 1 or 2 against the Chargers twice? against the Lions, against the Bills. Can they find another couple of wins in there and get to 9 and maybe be that last wild card? Yeah, absolutely. I totally think that's possible. Do I think they're much of a threat if they do make it to the playoffs? Not really. I think any of those teams, we talked about those 6 AFC teams that kind of separated themselves, or I think will separate themselves. I think any of those 6 teams can handle them pretty well. That's got to be a flag, doesn't it? Do I want them to make the playoffs? I don't know. It might be fun. Listen, I got to do their games either way, whether they're good or bad. So, you know. Yeah, that had to be a flag, man. He was all over him. So 3rd and 8 now. And all of a sudden, the doldrums that we were expecting at the beginning of the game have set in. Matt Canada has gotten off his script. Oh, nice play. Nice play. Who is that, 2? Oh, is that the guy replacing Bayard? He was cooked. And instead of interfering with the guy, he just put his hands over top of where the guy's hands were and was able to block that ball. It was a beautiful job. All right, I need the Titans to get some points here. Oh, turf monster. Look out. Don't underestimate. They remember y'all lose to a low team last year. I can normally decipher what it is you're trying to say, Milkman. I don't know what that is. So if you want to clarify your trolling, let me know what you mean. Yeah, man, it's the NFL. Any team can beat any team any week. And I say that all the time, and nobody believes me. I used to say when there was a 16-game schedule that most of the teams in the NFL are 8-8 teams. And then there's little things that draw lines between them. And it takes a really good quarterback and a really good coach to get you to 2-3 loss territory. Most of the teams in the NFL are just 8-8 teams. That's how the NFL is designed to be. And so then if you have a great quarterback, that's worth 3 more wins. If you have a good coach, that's worth 2 more wins. And then all of a sudden you're 13-3 or 13-4 or something like that. A great defense is worth maybe 1 more win. And then if you conversely have bad of any of those, it's the opposite. If you got a bad coach, it's worth 3 losses. You got a bad quarterback, it's worth 2-3 losses. You got a bad defense, it's worth a loss or 2. So, yeah, man, anybody can beat anybody. All year, all the time, every game. Welcome to the NFL. That's why they built that big city in the middle of the desert. Because, anybody can beat anybody any week. All right, next game, Rams and Packers. I am all out on. Don't be a hater like that. Colts, not the Colts right now. They can't beat anybody. They beat the Ravens, the 6-2 Ravens that we're talking about having separated themselves a little bit. Anybody can jump up any week and beat anybody, man. Rams and Packers, man, I am all the way out on Jordan Love. I was out on Jordan Love before the season started. Everybody got all excited. I was like, I guess we'll see. But I am all the way out on Jordan Love. Matt Stafford, I don't know what his injury status is. If he plays, I like the Rams a lot. If he doesn't, That team is super young, and to take away a leader and a quarterback like that is, I think, brutal for them. Nice play by D-Hop. Dude, Levis is just, I'm throwing it to Hopkins no matter what. I'm throwing it to 10. Pounding the ball with Henry. Dude, that offensive lineman has been rolled up on like 4 times. Gabs, I'm telling you, Rob, the Colts will make Bryce Young look like the right choice. Maybe. But isn't that an example of any team any week? Because Bryce Young is not that good. Right? So isn't that just making my point, not hurting it? I feel like that's making my point. Yeah, he's been rolled up on like 6 times, David. So if you're the play caller for the Titans, you got to be thinking run the ball, quick passes, because I think that's their second O lineman that went out. Oh, nope. That was ugly. What an ugly play. If the Colts get in Drake May range, would you do it? Is it what would you do? What are you doing? What would you do it? What are you doing? I like Drake May a lot, but I don't know. There was nothing that told me Anthony Richardson can't be a good quarterback. So I'm probably trading that pick for a whole lot of other picks. It's my thought process. Third and 13. J.J. Watt's about to eat someone's lunch. This is the second time I did that. T.J. Watt's about to eat someone's lunch. Wow. How do you have only 4 guys rushing and have 15 get that wide open? Can somebody answer that for me? Who doesn't love eating lunch, Milkman? I'm also more of a dinner guy. Broncos defense. What is that question, Gabs? I don't know what you mean by just saying Broncos defense question mark. Yeah, Rams Packers. I think it all just depends on if Stafford plays or not. I haven't seen any updates on that, but I also haven't really been looking. Commanders at Patriots. What a dog piss game. Holy shit. There's a bunch of bad ones. That might be the worst. Commanders, Patriots. Ugh. Commanders traded away any guy that had any talent on. That's not true. Terry McLaurin's still over there. Commanders traded away most of the guys that had good talent on their team. Patriots, woof. What's the spread? Commanders +3 in New England. Patriots have a weird way of turning it on, like whenever they decide to play. I guess I don't know, but they're terrible. Commanders are terrible. I like Howell a little bit. I feel like he's got a little bit of talent, but not a ton. God, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole if I'm not betting every game of the NFL weekend. I don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. You gotta think it's got to be demoralizing. Yeah, run the football. How about that? Derrick Henry for 5. You got to think it's got to be demoralizing to that Commanders locker room to trade away 2 of your best players in a weak AFC or in a weak NFC when you have 3 wins. There's just no way mentally that doesn't affect you a little bit. 3rd and 3. Oh, nice. Excellent play call. Excellent play call. So you bring Hopkins into the backfield and set him as a running back. So matchup-wise, he's supposed to have a linebacker on him and then just flare him out, and he's wide open for a first down catch there. I mean, beautiful, beautiful design. He sees them running around. Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Right? Put Hopkins in the backfield. Easy first down. Milkman, maybe the Mac magic comes back. You never know when that kid is going to be an NFL quarterback and when he's going to be total dog shit. Hey, run the football. How about that? Derrick Henry for 15 yards. Don't worry, Belichick will pay off the refs to win. Yeah, that's probably true. Or spy on the other team. Something like that. But who am I to judge, right? This game is going to go so freaking fast, dude. Oh, that was the play you wanted to score on. Always easier to score running outside of the 5, I feel like. Wide receiver 1 do wonders for a rookie QB. Yeah, bro. If you can have a second Marvin Harrison in your Colts life there, that would be quite the get for you. Just let him come back home. A tight end would also do run wonders for a second-year QB. The kid Bowers out of Georgia, kind of the consensus best tight end in the NFL or in the college football right now. Yeah, listen, if you want to say fuck taking all the extra picks, I want to take one elite player. I don't blame you for that. You got Jonathan Taylor. I actually wouldn't hate if you even took a lineman there. I know you still have some decent linemen from your last run of being good, but if Henry isn't 6'8", he doesn't score that touchdown. Dude's an animal. And there you go. Nine, 7 Titans. Who did he run over? Everybody. Is he in? He's absolutely in. If he's not 8'2", he doesn't score a touchdown there. Tank mode? Is that the Colts going tank mode, or is that Derrick Henry going tank mode, David? All right, Steelers getting 2.5 now. So originally bought in on Titans +3. Let me see how much it's going to cost me to switch that 2.5 to 3 here. Because I might take a middle here of 6 points. Ooh, it's expensive. Going up to 3.5 is -175. I'll probably sit on it. But definitely if the Steelers go 3 and out here and punt the ball, I'm going to be looking to see if I can get that full 3 points and middle this thing with 3 on each side. Henry. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude. He's an animal. Do I get annoyed when everybody talks about him going to the Bills? 100%. But Derrick Henry is an absolute animal. T-Rex, what's going on? Thanks for jumping in the chat. Anyone else take the under of 36.5? No, I stayed off the under. To be honest, who scared me away from it was Levis. That performance last week. You got a short week. There's only 1 week of tape on Levis. Minka Fitzpatrick is out. It just made me think to myself, I don't want to risk anything with the under here. And I definitely didn't have enough cojones to bet the over, so I stayed away from the total altogether. I went Titans +3 is my only money down right now. And I'm looking the middle at some point here. We'll see if I can get the Steelers plus a field goal too. I'd feel really good if I had them both plus a field goal, because you just have a feeling at the end it's going to end on a field goal somewhere. Let's see. What's the live total right now? 40.5. Yeah, I mean, you just never know when these offenses are going to go completely cold. I also feel like with both of them, both these teams, the halves are going super quick. Just not in a rush, not trying to run as many plays as they can, running the football, all that kind of stuff. So Black Friday football, it's fine with me. Happy to have it. Gabs got in on Titans +7.5. That's nice, bro. That is nice. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. And maybe it's the ribs, but yeah, this is what they're showing you now, what I was saying earlier. Just a couple wide open throws, and he just does not hit them. You can't miss those in the NFL. And they even found one more than I had seen originally. And you wonder if it's a ribs thing, but you're going to get a heavy dose of Najee Harris here, I think, to try to kill this half with a score. T-Rex, I actually don't have any fantasy leagues this year, believe it or not. A couple years ago, the leagues that I had been in for years, both of them shut down, and then I got fired from my job, so my work league went away too. And I went from having 3 fantasy teams to none, and let me tell you how fucking peaceful that was. I can't even begin to explain to you how peaceful it was to not have to worry about 3 fantasy teams. So my new job, they offered if I wanted to get in a league with them this year, and I kind of said no to them. So I don't know. It's going to take probably a dynasty league to get me off the bench, but I don't have that many friends, so you know what I mean. Yeah, this Steelers offense starting to move again. Yeah, T-Rex, like, not having to worry about who the third string running back is for the Dolphins and if he's going to get touches this week. I can't begin to tell you. It really made a difference. I very much enjoyed not having to worry about stuff. Let's see. Next game we got to talk about Bears Saints. A lot of screen passes right now from the Steelers. I don't think that's a bad game plan. Kenny Pickett seems like he can't throw it down the field, but eventually a screen pass is going to turn into a pick six, so you better be careful. Bears catching, what is it, 8.5? Is Justin Fields back yet? Because that's the only thing that matters. Not that I think Justin Fields is great, but Tyson Bagent, I could just do without ever hearing his name again. And I don't know what the situation is with Derek Carr, but they're going to call roughing the passer on that? He still had the ball. What? Show me. Landing on him? That is such a cheap call. We can all disagree with it? Yeah, if we all disagree with it, then maybe you need to change it. Kirk's like, we can all disagree with it, but it's the call. Well, if we all disagree with it, then maybe you should change it. Warren has looked so good for the first half of this season. Let's see, Gabs. I used to play Dynasty with IDP, but that ruined the football experience to me, bro. Felt like I had a second job. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm such a nerd for it that I like it. What I hate is, like, I draft a team and then my running back gets hurt and my year is shot and I have to stream running backs all year to be even decent. And then, of course, because I do sports talk radio and stuff like that, people are, giving me a hard time about why does your team suck, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, because 6 people got hurt. And, yeah, so I don't know. T-Rex grew up down the road from where Bagent went to college. How do you think he's going to do? Here's the thing for a guy like Bagent. I don't dislike him. And in fact, I like, another nice run by Warren is right. I don't dislike him at all. I've got nothing against Bagent. The one thing that most quarterbacks don't get in the NFL is time. You cannot simulate game speed. You cannot simulate game snaps. It doesn't matter if they practice every day with them, if they play all 4 preseason games, if they play in the USFL, they play in the XFL. You just cannot simulate NFL, the speed of it. And so for a guy like Tyson Bagent, the question is, how many times is he going to get to start? And how many times does it take him to figure it out? I think there's a lot of quarterbacks who are labeled as busts or no good throughout the course of the NFL that really just didn't get enough time to figure it out. And eventually the switch would have flipped and they would have been able to do it. Now, that's not every quarterback who doesn't make it. That's not every quarterback who's a bust. But there are guys, I believe, that, they had an opportunity and played a couple games, and then everyone's like, they're trash, get rid of them. And they just never got enough time to figure the NFL out and learn what they needed to do. On the flip side of that, you see a guy like, Ryan Fitzpatrick's a great example. Just kind of hung around, bunch of injuries, started, got time, got snaps in the NFL, eventually ends up being a starting quarterback for the Bills and ends up having a 10, 15-year career where he's got more passing yards than Troy Aikman. You know what I mean? and he's not like the greatest quarterback of all time, but circumstances just dictated that he got enough snaps and he was a smart enough dude to figure it out. So that's what I think about Bajan. I mean, it's just going to depend on how long can this guy hang around and get NFL coaching, NFL snaps, read NFL defenses, all that kind of thing. I'm sure being on the Bears doesn't help. Actually, it might, because there's not a lot of pressure there. He comes in, he wins that game. Everybody's like, oh, Tyson Bagent. And then he plays like shit last week, and everyone's like, well, it's the Bears. So being on the Bears actually might be a help for him rather than a detriment. Very low floor. In terms of this game, Bears plus 8.5. If it's not Fields and if Carr is playing, I might even lay that 8.5. But just an ugly game overall, probably. Unless, Gabs, you want to tell me about how the Saints are good still. We can talk about that if you feel like talking about it. 5-2 Seahawks versus 6-2 Ravens. Might be your best game of the morning. I don't know how the Seahawks are good. I really don't. Seahawks happen to be good every freaking time I turn around, and I just don't think they're a good football team. Oh, Gabs is out on the Saints finally. Yeah. All right, Gabs. We finally got you out. Get you. I feel like the guy looking at the cat. We're going to get you out of there. Saints are trash, man. Saints are trash. I've been telling you since week 1. Been telling you since the preseason. Above average defense. Ooh. Mediocre running game. Couple nice wide receivers I would love to pick off their roster. Quarterback who can't get it to him. That's the story of the Saints. Ravens, you think they'll pick up Henry? They tried, but trade deadline's passed. So whoever's on your team is on your team. So no Derrick Henry for the Ravens right now. You got 12 in the huddle? Let's see. What about the team that gave up a 44-yard pass to Taysom Hill last week? What about the team that gave up a 44-yard pass to Taysom Hill last week? Do you want me to defend the Colts right now? I think you know what the Colts are, Gabs. We don't need to relive it for you. I still think the Saints are trash. That doesn't change my opinion on if the Saints are garbage or not. Seahawks, Ravens. I think the Seahawks are going to find a way to go in there and win. The Ravens start pissing down their leg every once in a while. They had a really good game against the Lions, but I'm going to stick with my general consensus on them, which is that they play down to the level of their competition and lose games to like the Colts. So if I'm getting 6 for the Seahawks. And of course I say that, and then the Ravens are going to win by 30. So I don't know. I'll be torn about that game all weekend, right up until I pick it on Sunday morning. Bro, the Colts game doesn't count. They had almost the entire team injured. Come on, Rob. Man, this is something that the Ravens have done consistently for the past, 5 years. Did he catch that? No. Incomplete. 4th and goal, you got to take. Tomlin's taking the field goal. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I started to question if he was going to take the field goal. This is something the Ravens have done for their life, bro. I mean, this is what the Ravens do. Let's see. Let me look at their schedule here. Oh, the other game they lost was the Steelers game. How stupid was that? Don't act like they haven't lost other stupid games, Gabs. That Steelers game was dumb. They dropped passes all over the place. The Steelers never should have been in that game, and it cost them at the end. So yeah, man, this is a regular thing that the Ravens do, and I was hoping they would shake out of it with their offense figuring it out a little bit, become a little bit more consistent because they didn't rely on that weird Greg Roman offense. But we'll see. They still have to prove it to me. It's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying. And the Seahawks are just a real solid team, man. The Seahawks are an example of the team that the NFL will always allow you to build. Always. You will always be able to build a team that runs the ball, plays defense, and is just there. You know what I mean? But I don't think anybody's picking the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But that might be the game of the morning. Last one, Bucks Texans is your last morning game. CJ Stroud. I want to believe in CJ Stroud. I really do. We'll see. We'll see if he continues to impress. Y'all know I like Baker Mayfield. Has not been an impressive run from them. Go ahead and tell me why, Gabs. Those unis they had on last week were awesome. Whose unis? T-Rex. And Gabs, back your claim up. Tell me why you think he's overrated. His team is 3-4. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, the throwbacks, T-Rex? Yeah. It's funny how much people love throwbacks because people are the reason that they change those jerseys. So it's amazing that so many people love throwbacks as much as they do when fans are the reason that they changed them in the first place. David says Tampa Bay Creamsicle, my favorite throwback. That is a nice one. I do like it. Give me that pirate, that saucy pirate winking at me. I'll take it all day. Could you imagine if they made a logo now that had a guy with a knife? You'd just never get away with it. True, but yeah, I like them. And yeah, those creamsicles are dope. Yeah, I mean, listen, fashion-wise, everything goes through cycles, right? So a bunch of these uniforms cycle back in and look good, but let's see what Gabs said. Gabs on CJ Stroud because he had a little below average by any match. Because he's a little below average by any metric you look, but people are already saying he's top 10, 15. Well, when people say that, Gabs, I think what people are saying is if you're building a team, if you're starting a franchise, you want to get the youngest franchise quarterback that you can. Who's the youngest quarterback that you think has a chance to win a Super Bowl? And that is the first guy that you would pick to start your franchise. You know what I mean? So when people are saying top 10 to 15, I think that's what they're thinking. You got 3 timeouts. Use one. All right, so 1st and 10, and you're what? Just over the 40? Over the 50? Are we all aware that Will Levis puts mayonnaise in his coffee? Because I feel like that needs to be known about a man before you can do an expose on him being the leader of your team. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that has to be shared. Ooh, 35. A little bit further back than I thought you were. Got to pick up some chunks here. Oh, nice throw. Yeah, take another timeout there. Because now you're in field goal range. So now you're at the 40 on the other side. Now you're in field goal range. You can burn that second timeout and save that final timeout for getting the field goal team on the field. Excellent throw. It's a ballsy one, too. I mean, the guy's open by NFL standards, but you've got a lot of shirts around him. So credit to Levis for having the guts to stick that in there. He doesn't take the crust off his banana either. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's a psychopath, okay? And you want your quarterback to be a little bit of a psycho, but not like a super psycho, so, you know. Wow, excellent job. A throw on the out, you get the ball out of bounds. Now you have a lot of freedom to start taking shots at the end zone. See if you can get 6 before halftime. Excellent throw. And yeah, so the point that Kirk's making was the point I was traveling down the line to say. This offensive line has been getting torched all day, and all of a sudden they're giving Will Levis all kinds of time. I mean, he has been clean back there this drive. Where is Watt? Where is Highsmith? These guys were just absolutely smoking people before. Looked like a little OPI, to be honest with you. Yeah, it looked like a lot of hand fighting. I probably wouldn't have called it either. But not the cleanest NFL play I've ever seen. Watt switching sides. Oh, no. So Tajay Spears going backwards. Another risky throw by Levis. I hate this throw by him, but it's also a very good one. He's got a clean pocket. Like, chill the fuck out. And he's still off his back foot. Just kind of lofts it. And too far for Tajay Spears, who's backing up. It's a ballsy throw. Why would you run the football? Oh. So they're giving up and taking the field goal. And they're going to run it down to the 3 seconds before they do. Mental health guy, what's going on? Welcome back in. Sorry about your Vikings, bro. That's tough. It's real tough. Are you guys going to start Dobbs this week, or are you going to start Hall? I hadn't seen if they were going to start him immediately after the trade or not. Dobbs is a smart kid, but that's a lot to ask, I think. They are going to start Hall. Gabs, watching Will Levis makes me sad for real. Wish we had AR. Feels impossible to be happy. Why? Because you think Levis is the guy now, Gabs? You feel like Titans are right back on top? Because I don't know that I feel that way. But, hey, maybe. I could be wrong. 13-10. No, I just wish we had Anthony Richardson playing. Yeah, it's always tough. But I got to be honest with you. Him getting to see the field and NFL speed and defenses for the amount of time that he did, sitting out a year and trying to improve the team around him, it's not all bad. It's not ideal, but it's not all bad. Could end up in a good situation. So look at Amazon just hawking everything right now. Black Friday deals. You want to advertise Black Friday deals on Black Friday? Come watch the NFL on Amazon. I mean, it's smart, but it's also the most like we control the world, we have so much money thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Blink video doorbell is what they're pushing. Fire TV with the Blink video doorbell. Interesting. All right, everybody. That takes us to halftime, so we will take the break as we always do. Go get yourself a snack, a drink, go to the bathroom, and we will see you back before the second half starts. So take a little break, and we will see you right afterwards. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Hope you had a nice little halftime break there. Third quarter about to get underway. I have not middled yet, though I've been watching and hoping to. Your halftime lines: Tennessee minus 1.5 is minus 120. Steelers plus 1.5 is plus 110. Steelers money line is even, but I don't want to middle with the money line. Gives me only a 3-point middle, and I'm not crazy about that. So, excuse me. Gonna see if the Titans can do something with the ball here is really what I hope happens to start. I need somebody to stretch me like that, because Lord knows I don't do it. So yeah, big on the Titans getting some points here would be great for me, and see if I can land a solid middle somewhere. I hate the fair catch. Ugh. I respect Mike Tomlin as a coach. He's just a little bit too old school for me, but that's weird to say because he's so successful. I just can't, like, I can't handle him handling the mediocrity. And I know, like, they're still winning, so, whatever, but I don't know. I just can't stand the mediocrity. All right, let's see if the lines change now that the Titans have the ball. I'd be surprised if it did. Yeah. Nope, still hanging in about the same spot. Could have gotten actually a little bit better numbers at halftime than you get now, just in terms of how much you got to pay. Oof. What site do you use? BetMGM is what I bet on. I don't love their app, but I like the way they do business. So I've actually been looking for a second app to get on so I can kind of shop prices a little bit, T-Rex. But for now, just BetMGM. Mental health guy. Thoughts on Jacksonville as a postseason threat? Um, I like Jacksonville a lot. Um, man, Titans killing me. Hey, what do you think about coming out the first drive and scoring? Nah, we're gonna go 3 and out. Okay, thoughts on Jacksonville as a postseason threat. So, I have liked Jacksonville since the beginning of the year, since before the year started. Said that they could end up with something like the 2 seed, um, just because they play the AFC South and then their crossover division is the NFC South. And that's a whole lot of shit teams that you're playing. And they could find themselves with a bunch of wins. I still feel that way about them. I think they're a real solid team. I like their offense a lot. I think they've got a couple good playmakers on defense. In terms of a playoff threat, I think they're going to be dangerous because I think they're going to be playing at home. I think they're going to catch somebody like the Ravens or the Bengals or the Bills or the Dolphins at home. And it's just going to make it tough. Do I see them coming out of the AFC? Probably not. I would, if they get the 1 seed, I would entertain that idea. Because that means the AFC Championship game is in Jacksonville and that they only have to win 1 game to get there. But It all depends on where they land for me. If they can stay hot, I mean, they got the longest winning streak in the NFL right now. If they can stay hot, keep winning games, and end up at the top of that AFC playoff picture, I think they're a whole lot more dangerous. So, T-Rex, that's what I use, and FanDuel. I like FanDuel because Pat Show has boosts on that. Oh, interesting. I haven't really ever used any other apps. I had a couple that went bankrupt. Najee with a run. But yeah, I've been kind of asking people which one they really like, and nobody seems to like love any of them. You know what I mean? Mental health guy with another gifted sub. Look at you, my guy. Appreciate that, my man. Coming in big with another gifted sub. I don't know why that isn't setting off my alerts. I just went and checked them the other day when it didn't set off an alert. Oh, that annoys me. Well, there's supposed to be an alert that goes off when you do that. So, thank you, though, for the gifted sub. That's awesome. Gifted subs. Yeah, they're turned on. What is... That's what it's supposed to look like. Just imagine that it says mental health guy. Gifts a sub. Thank you for the gifted sub. Those are honestly the most important thing. And I don't say enough that I need people to subscribe. But that's kind of what they judge us on. So huge mental health guy. Super appreciate that. Thank you so much. And anybody else, if you feel like dropping a sub on there, just $5 to sub. So if you enjoy hanging out, talking football, please, please, please. It would be awesome if you did. All right, 3rd and 2 for the Steelers here. They're going quick. Oh, how do you let him catch that ball? What are you doing, two? Najee Harris out of the backfield on a little flip, and I felt like that Titans defender was close enough to swat his arms when he tried to catch it. Could have just, excuse me, could have just been the angle of the camera, but. T-Rex, check out FanDuel Face Off. Every time I talk to somebody about one of the other betting sites, they're like, yeah, it's fine. Like, nobody's like, yeah, I really like this betting site, so. Gotta catch that football, Najee. Come on, boy. I like Warren a lot, but that seemed like a bad decision to me. Dancing in the backfield like that. All right, let's see. Our afternoon games. Only a couple. Colts and Panthers. Gabs. I know you're psyched for this one. It is in Carolina. Carolina 2.5-point home dog. Oh, that's an interesting pick for me. Gabs, what's my injury update? Oh, almost a pick there. You're going to be a flag instead? That's brutal. Oh, God, the penalties. Jesus H. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pass interference, but whew. So a couple different chances to get off the field now have gone by the wayside. The real question is, does Tomlin punt from here or try a field goal? We'll never find out. He picks up the first down. But still, I mean, dude loves to give up and punt the ball. T-Rex. Okay, so I like the layout of FanDuel and the accessibility of the app as well as the interface. It's pretty clean. And they have a good amount of promotions and boosts as well. Boosts, they offer fantasy as well. But Face Off is an app where you can face off against friend or random people for real money, and you play different mini games for it. It's different and kind of cool in my opinion. Interesting. So you get to like gamble on games, kind of, instead of on sporting events. For Colts and Panthers, man, I don't know. I mean, maybe we see if Bryce Young figured something out last week. I doubt it, but it'll be interesting at least to see. I think this game has more to do with draft position, honestly, than it does with anything interesting in the NFL. But we will see. Can we get the Panthers another win? Slide those Chicago picks back a little bit, you know what I mean? T-Rex, yeah, you could play like cornhole on the phone for $5 or something like that. That's kind of cool. Giants and Raiders. What is up with all the dog shit games? Must be a bunch of good teams on bye this week. Giants plus 1.5. Big question is who is starting both on the offensive line and at quarterback for them. Raiders, you normally get a interim head coach bump. Everybody happier that whoever they didn't want there anymore is no longer there. In this case, Josh McDaniels. So it's a good. It's a good game to have the interim head coach bump for the Raiders. Maybe they get a win here. Honestly, they're not that far out of the playoff picture, but can Aiden O'Connell lead them back? No Leonard Williams for the Giants. Traded him to the Seahawks. It's probably the biggest move, second biggest move, something like that, of the trade deadline. Yeah, two teams that are kind of just tanking it. Honestly, the Raiders, I think, might have a chance to get back in the playoff picture because their schedule's brutal, but hey, Pickett's swinging the ball out. What do you know? mental health guy. So is everyone finally off Brock Purdy? I mean, I was not a huge fan to begin with. Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback, but good. That's it. Thought the MVP talk was a little bit overblown. I feel like if you're going to give an MVP out to somebody that's on the San Francisco 49ers, that a guy named Christian is way more deserving than a guy named Brock, but that was just my point of view. In this world, we're so, like, someone's either got to be the GOAT or awful, and I just don't think that's how it goes. I think Brock Purdy's probably a pretty good quarterback and helped out a lot by the system. So we'll see. They added some more talent to that team, too, which mental health guy, I think you were here for the Monday Nighter against your Vikings. I felt like their D-line kind of disappeared. I was calling for Bosa to do something. So interesting adding Chase Young. I think that is going to help them. We'll see. All right, 2nd and 12 for the Steelers here, just outside of the red zone. Free rusher. It's amazing they spent a first-round pick on Najee Harris, and now Jalen Warren's taking so many snaps from him. Oh, did he get a foot in? Should have. But it looked close to me. Show me again. Make sure he got that second foot in. He's not. Come on, man. I shouldn't be the only one that sees that. Kirk finally is the one that says it. It's incomplete. Yo, you got to dot that I. Pickens, that's terrible. Listen, the guy is extremely, extremely talented. It's not a knock on him overall, but George, my guy, you got to dot that. That has to be a 6. That has to be touchdown. Now it's going to be a field goal. T-Rex, Eagles add Kevin Byard. Sorry, T-Rex, not a touchdown. They're going to take it off the board. Didn't get that second foot down. Yeah, I like the Eagles adding Byard. I mean, I think he's a good safety. I'm not super high on him. I think Leonard Williams is probably a better player than he is. I think Chase Young can be a better player than both of them, but hasn't been. But Chase Young, in a spot where he doesn't have to shoulder as much of the load of being, a former first overall pick, so on and so forth. I think probably he'll do better in San Francisco than he was doing before. Our line is stacked, though. I'm an Eagles fan. That roster is stacked, my man. And I got a friend who's a huge Eagles fan, so I follow them very closely because he's my old college roommate. I've known him for forever, and so I've followed the Birds pretty closely. That whole roster is stacked, and The only question was, is the NFC Championship going to be there or in San Francisco? So, yeah, I mean, I think you guys are in a great spot. Detroit has introduced themselves to the equation. I think you probably want to avoid playing them if at all possible. If you make that if you get the number 1 seed and make that Detroit San Francisco game, a matchup of those two rather than you having to knock both those teams off, that's probably the best idea. So I believe in them. I believe in them because Hurts doesn't have to be great for them to be, for them to be a Super Bowl contender. So you're just going to, if you do it right, you have the game at home and you just have to get by either San Francisco or Detroit, not both of them. Mental health guy. I always thought he wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl, but he can't play from behind. That won't fly in the postseason, especially if the defense isn't dominating. Is that a Brock Purdy thing or a Jalen Hurts thing? Mental health guy. I always thought he wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. How confident are you in Sirianni? Very. Very. He's shown that so when he first came in, him and Steichen and Gannon did a great job of building schemes that fit their players. He has perpetuated that as he's brought in new coordinators. So I believe in Nick Sirianni. We'll see if he's the kind of guy that can get him over the hump. Sean McDermott, for example, has proven that he is a liability when it comes to that team winning in the postseason. When the lights are brightest, he gets nervous. Are we going to start saying that about Sirianni too? Is he a great coach that when the lights are brightest maybe doesn't have his best game? Got handed kind of a gift last year. Brock Purdy's elbow gets hurt, and all of a sudden it's a very different NFC Championship game if Brock Purdy is healthy for it. So Sirianni kind of got given a gift to get to the Super Bowl last year. It'll be interesting to see in the biggest moments if he's a asset or a liability as a coach. Okay, a bunch of things. Mental health guy was talking about Brock Purdy. Yeah, I mean, listen, you'll just have to see if he's a good enough guy to win a Super Bowl. That roster is so loaded that he's not going to have to do much. His edict is going to be don't fuck it up. And that's a great place to be with your quarterback. But there's so much talent on that roster. We'll have to see. Let's see. Eagles, Cowboys this weekend. Yeah, we're going to get to that game. Oh, God. Ugh. God, I hate watching injuries like that. They love to play them in slow motion. Yeah, we talk about every game, just kind of general thoughts on them on Thursday. And then Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock Mountain, 11 o'clock Eastern, we do your NFL pregame show with me and Sturls. And we actually pick every game. I bet them right in front of you. So I'm not just saying I'm putting my money where my mouth is. But, yeah, we will talk that Eagles-Cowboys game coming up. T-Rex, he's a goofball, but I like Sirianni. He's very Jersey, Philly. He fits great. T-Rex, McDaniel's probably my favorite head coach in the NFL. Yeah, well. He's just got that vibe to him, man. Like you want to hang out with him. So hopefully, yeah. I wish a lot of success. He's from Denver, so I wish him a lot of success. I just kind of don't want it to be in Miami. So, but it looks like that'll be where he coaches for a while. Milkman, you want a Sprite cranberry, Rob? I don't know what that means, but sure. I don't mind the cranberry flavored sodas. Go great with vodka, dude. It's turns out to be a nice little holiday drink there. Little cranberry flavored Sprite or Sierra Mist vodka. Just a nice little quickie for you, you know. David, those skill players and amazing defense, most quarterbacks would look good. Yeah, I mean, we say that, but like Jimmy Garoppolo, we watched him and felt like we needed more. You know what I mean? So give Brock a little bit of credit for doing what he needs to do. Is what he needs to do hard? No, there are harder jobs in the NFL for sure. But yeah, so give him credit for doing what he needs to do. I think he's probably like I said, a good quarterback. Mental health guy. I honestly think the Eagles have an open run through the NFC. I like the Lions, but I don't know if they can beat Philly in Philly. I think it's Philly's to lose. Yeah, San Francisco's gonna have something to say about it. I can't get around that. The Seahawks are going to be annoying. If the Seahawks end up finding a way to win that division, crazy. If the Seahawks end up finding a way to win that division, San Francisco is probably less of a threat. But I think this little losing streak has hurt the Niners a whole lot. Milkman, who's a Niners fan, of course, saying 49ers. I told him earlier in the year, and I think I mentioned it to you too, mental health guy. Whoever has that game at home, I think it makes a huge difference. The fact that this 3-game losing streak, those Eagles are 2 games ahead now. That's a big, big number. 2 games ahead is a lot. So, we'll see. Yeah, I expect you to win the division, Milkman. I do. But I think the Seahawks are going to be there and really annoying. And not necessarily that they're going to beat you, but that they're going to have 11 or 12 wins. And, oh, wow. How did he get that ball out of there? Unbelievable. Derrick Henry just outside the red zone. Oh, Levis. Oh. I think the Seahawks are going to be right there. I think they're going to win 10, 11, 12 games, something like that. And if you guys don't get your act together, you could be in trouble. Now, I fully expect you to get your act together. You are a more talented team, and you should win that division. But 3-game losing streak's a 3-game losing streak for everybody, bro. It's not, you don't get a reprieve. It's brutal. 3-game losing streak is brutal. So, you came in talking all kinds of shit about the Bills when they had their second loss and their third loss. Here you go. Now you just got to go out there and do it. You know what I mean? Nope, defense. I think it's our, O-U-R. Nope, our defense is strong, quick, and big. Yes, you have some people who are strong, some people who are quick, and some people who are big. That's absolutely right. And when you were losing to the Vikings, I was screaming at them for one of those big, strong, and quick guys to make a play. Where were they? So if you go through the rest of the season and don't get done what you need to get done, yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to be... Listen, there are divisions where the second place team in the division is way far back and you can just kind of go in cruise control. And all I'm saying is that's not what the NFC West is this year. The Seahawks are going to be on your heels, so you better get your ass together. So, I live to trash the Bills, Rob. You know that. I know you do, buddy. I know. I know you do. Mental health guy. I also think the 49ers secondary is a little suspect. I like Travarius Ward. Hufanga is great. Everybody knows that. I think their secondary is pretty good. But the idea of the secondary being a liability doesn't matter if the quarterback doesn't have any time to throw the ball. Totally irrelevant. like if the quarterback has to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds, any NFL caliber DB should be able to cover for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So Titans back up. Would have loved a touchdown there. This one's going to end weird, dude. I don't know how, but this one's going to end weird. So it's 2.5 is the spread right now. I'm looking to see how much it's going to cost me to buy it up to 3.5 because I do want that full field goal on both sides. Minus 275. Unbelievable. Minus 270. Minus 2.5 is minus 110. Minus 3.5 is minus 275. They really do not want you buying that field goal. That is hilarious. It's all right. I'll sit with my winning ticket for now. I'm fine with it. All right. Let's go back out here. What's my next game to talk about here? All right. Of course, it's a nightmare to get to. Yeah, that's it. Time for the game T-Rex wants to talk about. Cowboys and Eagles. 5-2 Cowboys going to the 7-1 Eagles. Eagles 3-point favorites at home. Mental health guy. I am not going to stream Buffalo Cincy. Man, I've been working so much, and that is a game that I do not have to do a Broncos post game after. So it's one of the few that I get to actually go and hang with the boys for and enjoy a couple cocktails. I don't know if David's still on here, but I will be with the fellas for that one for sure. So take it, Rob. I don't know what you're referring to, Milkman, but I have to take your bullshit all the fucking time. So have been. Continue to, if that's what you're discussing. All right, Cowboys and Eagles. This is, to me, I loved the 49ers over the Cowboys a few weeks back. The reason that I loved it is because the Niners were good at everything the Cowboys are bad at. I 100% feel that way about the Eagles too. The Eagles are good at what the Cowboys are not good at. And so if the Cowboys haven't learned anything, they're going to get stomped out again. I think that Eagles offensive line is important here. I think, oh, wow. Throw in the trophy. I'm watching a TCU Texas Tech game. Anyway, I think the Eagles offensive line matters in this game. I think if you want to neutralize Micah Parsons, you run right at him. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that game coming up. I'm going to take this commercial break with them at the quarter here, and we will rock up and get ready to go for the fourth quarter. So, be right back. All right, welcome back. For those of you who can see me, some are still in commercial. Got back quick on that one. Okay, welcome back, everybody. T-Rex asked, when does Diggs come back? The answer is he doesn't. It's a ACL tear. I'm pretty sure he's out for the season. Unless something came out that I didn't see. I'm pretty sure he's done for the year. So, yeah, I think their defensive backfield is suspect. And I think you can neutralize Micah Parsons by running right at him. And I think the Eagles can do both those things. And in Philadelphia for a home game, I like the Eagles a lot in this game. Again, not that I don't think the Cowboys are a good team. I just think it's a bad matchup, just like the Niners. I think those teams are both bad matchups. And I got news for you. I think the Lions are a bad matchup for the Cowboys too. Cowboys are in the wrong conference, if you ask me. So, yeah, I like the Eagles a lot here. Oh, another screen pass. No way. At some point, that dude is going to get a pick six just because all they're doing is throwing those little outs and screens, man. And they're not close enough for a field goal, I don't think, are they? Nope, they're going to punt it for sure. Hello, Mike Tomlin. All right, another break. Let's see. You from New York? I was born in Buffalo. I moved to Colorado very young, and still live here now. Went to Hofstra University on Long Island. So kind of is the answer to your question. I don't think I have any Cowboys fans who are regulars on here. Kind of surprised, though, that I don't have anybody that wants to defend the Cowboys. But all right. What else we got here? Oh, the next is the Sunday Night Football game. Bills and Bengals. Bengals have had the Bills number. They were giving them a hard time before all the Damar Hamlin stuff happened. And, of course, just shellacked them in the playoffs. I think this is an important game for the Bills and their mentality, I got to be honest. I don't think it's a game they got to win, but let's see, T-Rex. Gotcha, and it's weird. My best friends are Cowboys fans. Yeah, and one of my friends, another streamer on here, Reese Cups, is a Cowboys fan from Philly. I don't know how that happens, but Sunday night football game. I think it's real important for the Bills to win. I got to be honest. Not just for playoff seeding or the fact that they're still a game behind the Dolphins or anything like that. The Bengals have been their boogeyman a little bit. They beat the Chiefs a whole bunch. It's all been in the regular season. But they've beat the Chiefs a whole bunch. They got to beat the Bengals, man. They got to beat the Bengals and just, I think, get over that hump mentally. So I'm surprised he made it out. Yeah, man, I don't know. He was a Cowboys fan in Philly, and then he joined the military, and then he moved out here. Good dude. Good dude. But let's see if I can do the... Yeah. Still learning how to do all my streamer stuff. So that's my first official shout out. But he's the guy. He's a good dude. He's a good streamer too. Will Levis with an absolute dot of a throw. Beautiful. That is a fantastic throw, and that is you call that an NFL throw, you know what I mean? What's the line right now? I haven't been paying attention, and I should be. Can I get the full? Yeah, was a Marine and police officer. Now retired as a police officer. So plus 135 if you take 2.5. How much does it cost you to get the 3.5? Minus 200. God, they don't want you to take that field goal so bad. It's fine. I'll wait till the Titans score. So yeah, I feel like the Bills need to get this done. I think the Bills' defensive line matches up well against the Bengals' offensive line. It'll remain to be seen if they can hold up on the corners. God, there's just so much talent on Cincinnati's corners. But the real problem last year was that the Bills couldn't score, man. Henry just pounding, eating yards. The real problem last year was that the Bills couldn't score, man. And so, yeah, they're going to have to figure out how to stop those receivers on defense. But their scheme is a very zone scheme. It's very friendly for cornerbacks. I don't think Rasul Douglas will play. He might, but I don't think he will. They just have a way of trying to bring guys along slowly, so I'd be surprised if he played this weekend. If he does, it'll be very limited snaps, I think. Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, so the Bills switch back to 11 personnel this week with Dawson Knox going on IR. So now they're running the majority 11 personnel, and everybody seems to think that is going to cure what ails them. We'll see. We'll see. All right, 2nd and 10, and you probably got to pick up 2 first downs before you are in field goal range here. I don't think you can play a clock game here if you're Tennessee. Way too much time left. 3rd and 8. Wow. No flag, huh? Titans going to punt. God, they hate you betting 3.5 right now. Let's see. Bills, Bengals. So good pass rushers for the Bengals. I think the Bills' offensive line's a little bit underrated. I like the way they've been playing. So I feel like they can handle them. Gonna have to run the ball a little bit, but you need Josh Allen to be Josh Allen, man. He's got to be Superman. Ain't no two ways about it. All right, I'm going to run a quick commercial break here. Get ahead here going into the last quarter, so I'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay. Bills, Bengals. I think the Bills are going to have to run the ball a little bit. But Josh Allen's just going to have to be Josh Allen. He looked like he was confused and confounded, and their offensive line got torched last year. I think they've improved their offensive line, and I think some of the guys are playing better. So hopefully that's a solved issue, but we're going to have to wait and see. And they are really pumping this Black Friday football game. Najee running hard, and Jalen Warren, like I said, has been impressive. But Najee Harris is still an animal. Like lest us not forget. How long have you been streaming for? I started in July, and I had terrible equipment. I was just kind of trying to get a feel for it, so I didn't really start in earnest until the football season started. And I do sports talk radio here in Denver, so I started showing the games and doing watch-alongs that way, and really enjoyed hanging out, watching football, chatting with y'all. So it's where we're at. It's kind of the evolution. still have designs on being a variety streamer, if you will. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. Being a variety streamer, and I still play video games and stuff on here every once in a while, but a lot of football right now. You know, I want to hate on this Steeler offense a little bit because it's only put up 13 points, but they've been moving the ball okay. Okay. Just okay. But I'm still not a Matt Canada fan, so, did you have prior computer skills or anything that helps you learn / do this? No, listen, if you're interested in streaming, man, my suggestion to you is just start doing it. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you got to learn that you can only learn by doing it. I do have film editing, TV, radio background, so I definitely know a bunch of different things that help me get it started. But there are a bunch of things with streaming that you can only learn as you start it and just start doing it. I'm looking into getting into streaming. Would like to know how to get started. Yeah. My advice to you is your first couple are going to suck and no one's going to be watching them anyway. So get yourself a good microphone is my first thing I would say to you. Get yourself a good microphone and know what you're going to do and just get started doing it. There's a bunch of really good tutorials and stuff on YouTube. So it's an interesting play design. Brotherly shove, little change up there. Those are you're gonna start seeing a whole bunch of plays off that wing tee offense. Ooh. Again, Pickett off target. All night he's had open throws that he's missed. Third down. And I think an important one for the Titans if you want to take control of this game a little bit. .6 yards to go. Love to see 98 make a play here. And it looked like pass interference, too. God, when have the Steelers not had good wide receivers? It's so annoying. Just got torched. Is he going to get there? Not even, I mean, his foot's at the one. The ball is at the Inch line. Man, that's close. There's 98. Ain't no way. Yeah. See? Come on now. Now you're in trouble. From the 6-yard line, 7-yard line now. All right, 2nd and goal from the 6. T-Rex, let's put your guy Pickens back in play here. Oh! And there's going to be an offensive pass. That's OPI. It's not defensive pass interference. Oh, holding. Brutal. Oh, yeah. All right, so now 1st and goal from what? The 3? 3-yard line. Wide open. God, the Steelers are going to win this stupid game, too. How annoying. How annoying. All right. So 4:02. And you're likely going to be down 4 here. Interesting. So there'll be a personal foul penalty. If it's on the Steelers, that does matter. It's not nothing. Oh, it is on the Steelers. So that'll move them back on the kickoff, and that'll make a difference in field position. All right, Chargers, Jets. Last game we've got to talk about. That's your Monday Night Football game. Chargers headed to New York. Jets getting 3.5 right now. Oh, God, the Jets defense is so good, but they're going to kick their butt, aren't they? I mean, 3.5. There's no way. Like, even if the Jets hold down Herbert, there's no way 3.5 is enough points. Wonder what the weather is supposed to be like that day. Interesting. I'm trying to think about if I would take the points or not. Just kind of running through the matchups in my head for the. That's a technical foul. 8 crazy nights. Not sure I get that. Is that a Hanukkah joke? I'm not sure. Not sure it's landing for me, T-Rex. Gosh. The Chargers' run defense isn't great. And that is one thing the Jets do well. On the other side of the ball, good cornerbacks versus average wide receivers, average to good wide receivers. Iffy offensive line versus a good defensive line. It's going to be tough. That's interesting. 3.5 is a really interesting line there for me. Going to have to talk it through with Sturls. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But here are the Jets at 4-3, looking like they'll be in it till the end here. And same thing, we kind of talked about it earlier. The question is, can they be at 8-9 wins and make it so whenever Rodgers comes back, they're still in it. Need the under of 37 for the Steelers game. Thought it was 36.5. And you're right on it right now. So you need this game to end is what you're telling me. Sorry, I got Titans +3, so I'll be rooting against you, my man. And by the way, that personal foul penalty did not help you, because now the Titans are going to start the ball with the ball on the 49-yard line. All right, let's crank this bad boy up. This is what the Steelers' defense is designed for. I'll give you that. You got 2 really good pass rushers, and they just need to eat right now. Oh, I don't love that. Why would you start with that play call? Oof. Oof. You don't often see Henry stood up like that. Anybody else got money on this? I don't know if Gabs is still here. I think he had Titans +7.5, so he should be all right. Third and 4. Still plenty of time if you have to kick this away. It would just be a waste of really good field position. Wow, why are you running the ball? What the hell are you doing? Yeah, but what kind of call is that? It's 3rd and 4. You're wasting a ton of time, too. No pressure. That looked like pass interference to me. It's an interesting call. That can't be the main play that they would have gone for. He was all over him. That's crazy. So first of all, I think it's pass interference. Second of all, he smacked his head real hard on the ground, like real hard. Uh, yeah. Third of all, I don't love the play call. I know they're doubling Hopkins, but that I make my other options plays to pick up the other routes to pick up the first down. Not a shot play like that. Just a bad call, I think. At least by my eye. All right, I'll run a quick commercial with them. Be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. So, you've got the 2-minute warning that'll come up and 3 timeouts for the Titans here. So you could even afford to, if you don't want to take your timeouts right away. It was bad. Shoot. You know, that looked bad the way he landed on the ground and kind of curled up there. And turns out it is bad. Yeah, his head just, hit the ground pretty hard. I'm surprised neck injury, but Yeah, I'm with you, T-Rex. Of course, we hope he's all right. Hate to see that to anybody, no doubt. Well, that's tough to watch. We'll see what this turns into, but definitely a bummer. Mental health guy. Is Ohio State the weakest number one seed we have in the CFP that we have seen? I don't think so. There was a few years back that it was the top four seeds were changing right up until the last week. What was that? 2016, 2017, something like that. And there was a one-loss team that ended up being number one, which I think was Alabama that year. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Listen, a lot of those teams take a little bit of time to figure it out, man. I mean, it's not. We're so spoiled by Alabama just dominating from wire to wire every year. Um, that's not how football works most of the time. Um, Credit to Saban and Bama as much as I hate them, um, but that's not how football works most of the time. You spend a season figuring out who you are and what you do well and all that kind of stuff, and it might not look exactly pretty all the time, and just kind of figure it out. All right, well, he's strapped to the backboard and being taken off. Definitely a bummer. T-Rex, huge Buckeye fan, and yes. Um, Listen, man, I think the top six teams are all really good in college football right now. And it'll be fun to see them go up against it, but it's going to be hard for somebody. I don't know who. Someone's going to get left out. Um, if that's Oregon right now, that's fine with me because they lost to one of these teams already. But right now, you got, I think, 5 teams who are deserving. So we'll see. We'll see what it turns into. I mean, Michigan and Ohio State going to have to play each other. So been afraid for our offense. There's a lot of talent on that offense. And Kyle McCord, I feel like, is a good enough quarterback to deal with it. So we'll see. Field goal of death. They are down 4 points, which gifts them fourth down desperation if the Titans are able to get a stop and get the ball back. They are going to have to go down the length of the field, but knowing that you have 4 downs to pick it up instead of 3, if you were only down 3, then 4th down, turns into a down. You would kick a field goal. Doesn't do you any good. So them being down 4, I feel like is actually a benefit for them in terms of winning the game. Mental health guy. Part of me thinks Oregon can win it all if they get in. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's a good football team. They're good in the trenches. Bo Nix is steady. So, yeah. Interesting. Sounds like he's okay. Movement in the extremities and such. So hopefully he's all right. While we've got a break here, don't forget, follow, subscribe, wherever you are. Twitch is giving me a hard time about not having enough subscribers. So mental health guy, really appreciate the gifted sub before. But if you're chilling in here and feel like subscribing, I always appreciate it. Okay, so you can take a quick timeout here. And 4th down, so that's going to leave you 1 timeout, which is nice. The fact that you were able to get a stop on this set of downs saves you 1 timeout for Tennessee. People give McDermott a hard time for this for the Bills, but I am a big proponent of using your timeouts defensively. If the clock is already stopped, make sure your defense can take a deep breath, man. Pass rushers get tired too, so. Yeah, just fair catch that. Thank you. All right, so 85 yards to glory. Yeah, 85 yards to glory. So, again, this is what they're built to do. Pass rushers, right? Mental health guy, I think Stanford might have killed their hopes. It's going to be interesting. They're going to have to steal a game they weren't supposed to win now. So, we'll see. Their easiest game is Arizona, and Arizona just beat Oregon State. So. Oh, wow. Great defense by DeAndre Hopkins. Levis threw a pick there, and if he didn't have DeAndre Hopkins playing cornerback, he would have ended the game right there. Better decisions from you, Will. First down. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good. That was a good first down. Oh, that was a bad second. You got to take your time out here. Timeout. Yeah, 1:17 left. You're going to have to burn your last time out here. You hate using it on a sack, but it just burns way too much time if you don't. Can't hold on to that ball. I don't care if you throw it at somebody's feet. You were under duress and you knew you were in trouble. You got to throw that ball away. Your back was over the middle of the field. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just throw it into the ground at his feet. And that's something that you should be teaching your quarterbacks. You don't need the 3 yards that you get from the check down, Just throw it at his feet. So 2nd and 18 now. And you are going to have to worry about picking up this first down. Oh, hate that, but you had to do it. So 1 minute left in the game, 3rd and 7. Manageable. That's fine. That was a good decision. His receiver went down and he just threw it into the ground right next to him. So, comes down to this. Timeout from the Steelers here. And this is what I was talking about with those defensive timeouts. You know, TJ Watt's there huffing and puffing. Not saying that he still wouldn't be incredibly effective on that play. But you take a timeout, let him take a deep breath. See if you can get him back to closer to full speed before this 4th down play. "17 wins after trailing in the 4th quarter, most in NFL. 3 this season trailed tonight." That's so annoying. I just don't think they're a good team, man. But Mike Tomlin and that defense. And that'll do it. Oh. It's holding, so it doesn't matter if it was tipped. New life. Oh, Titans. Oh, my God. T-Rex, I think the Buffs still have a shot at a bowl game. They do. But they've got Oregon State this week and then Arizona. Those are their last 2 home games. And then they're at Washington State and at Utah. That's a tough run, man. You got to find 2 wins in there. That's a tough run. But they can absolutely do it. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 35, and you have 49 seconds. You really got to pick up some chunks here. It looks like Levis doesn't know what to do with a loaded backfield, if I'm being completely honest. He doesn't know which window to throw it into, and the key when you have that many people dropping into coverage is you've got to anticipate the window and trail it in. You're not going to see somebody running free, you know what I mean? So, interesting. Oh, but there's a guy who's wide open. All right, 37 seconds. You gotta kill this with around 25, 20 seconds left. If you can get it with 25, that's great. That's a great job. Yeah, 26 seconds left. Excellent. Nice job. All right, so 2nd and 10. And I think you're on about the 35, something like that. You're live. You probably want to try to pick up another set of downs. You don't want these to be your last 4 plays is kind of what I'm getting at. But you're going to need to start worrying about getting out of bounds here. Out of bounds. And he does pick up the first down. Nice job. So 20 seconds left. Oh, this is crazy. Kick the field goal and I'll be happy. Just take the field goal here, fellas. Call it a good game, you know? Okay, 20 seconds. It's got to be to a sideline or to the end zone here, but you're on the 24, so you should be able to call pass plays that go to the end zone. Oh, who is 21? You had a pick there, buddy. Darius Rush. Right through the hands. Well, that's why he was a free agent, Al. He did time it perfectly, Kirk. He's got to catch the football. But hey, if DBs could catch, they'd be playing wide receiver. Kind of useless there. All it puts into play is running and picking up a first down. But it's third down. You got 2 shots at it for 11 seconds. So, I mean, it was kind of a worthless pass play. You technically could probably run 3 plays if you wanted to, if you called real quick hitting pass plays, but you can't risk getting tackled in bounds. So these shots got to be to the end zone. And there's the interception. Well, there you go, T-Rex, with your under. By the skin of your teeth. It was a good game, yeah. Al said great game. A couple of these have been real dogs on prime time. This one was fun. So, I mean, that's probably, you threw it into triple coverage. I know you need to take some chances there, but yeah, that's not the shot I would have taken. Yes, T-Rex. Congrats, my man. Congrats. I will be live next, probably for CU on Saturday night. I got to do some car shopping, but that will likely be Saturday during the day, so I'm hoping I can get back in time for the CU 8:30 start. We'll do some late night college football. And hang out with that one. And then, of course, we have our Sunday NFL pregame show. We call it Your NFL Show because we answer any questions you got. Fantasy, Survivor, betting, whatever. We'll pick every game right in front of you. So come hang out with me and Stills for that. For now, I'm going to raid you guys out. Send you over to my guy, Reese Cups, who I was talking about earlier. He is playing some Modern Warfare. The new one, the brand new one. So we'll send you over to him, say what's up to him, give him a follow, be nice. Like I said, he's a good dude and a good friend. So peace, y'all. Have a good night.